The Mankad Law, Joss Butler, Ravi Ashwin. I've subtitled it that. We're actually on about Law 41.16, which has been altered several times, most recently in 2017. The point I'm really going to make here is the law isn't what many people seem to think it is. The law isn't that a batsman must not leave his crease until the bowler has released the ball. That isn't the law, and it hasn't been the law for a long time. So the argument often goes that Butler left his crease, the law is he shouldn't, therefore it's fair and he's out. Well, that isn't the... You may be surprised to know, and whizzing through Twitter and Facebook, quite a few of you may be surprised to know, the law doesn't mention anything about the batsman not leaving his crease. Let's have a look at what Law 41.16 actually says. The non-striker leaving his or her ground early. If the non-striker is out of his or her ground from the moment the ball comes into play to the instant when the bowler would normally have been expected to release the ball, the bowler is permitted to attempt to run him or her out. Whether the attempt is successful or not, the ball shall not count as one in the over. Bowler fails the attempt to run at the non-striker, the umpire shall signal dead ball as soon as possible. The point here that I've highlighted, when the bowler would normally have been expected to release the ball. Now this has been changed and altered a few times, most recently in 2017. And the reasoning behind the change is quite clear, and we'll look into it a bit later on, that the batsman at the non-striker's end must be looking and focused at the striker at the point of release. We'll come into why, if some of you haven't guessed why, in a moment. So, it's when the bowler would normally have been expected to release the ball. Not when the bowler did release the ball. It doesn't say that. Would normally have been expected to release the ball. Now, the internet and social media have shown quite a few pictures here, and you'll see this picture and this picture here, so it's a bit small, not shown, of the bails coming off and Joss Butler out of his ground. But you see the bails are already off in here, and things have happened. Things have waited, and that picture there, and then Joss is a bit upset. It's happened to him before. It happened to him in 2002. This is for the search Ashwin Butler Mankad. What picture you can't find anywhere, I only managed to find this of a screen grab from somebody else's video, is this picture. This is the picture taken just before. It's a screen grab from a video. Ashwin has stopped. He's half turned. This right arm, which you can't really make out, it's a bit pixely, is about to take the bails off. Butler is still in his crease. He would have released the ball. He's actually stopped in his action. Butler is still in his crease. To me, that makes it at least likely that had Ashwin continued and bowled the ball normally, Butler would have been in his crease until the expected release time of the ball. And let's remind you, when the bowler would normally have been expected to release the ball, that is the law. Not when the bowler releases the ball. Nothing to do with the back foot of the bowler landing, the front foot of the bowler landing, all sorts of things that people sort of think the law is. It isn't. It's when the bowler would normally have been expected to release the ball. I will put it to you that at this point, given that Ashwin has stopped and turned, and Butler is still in his crease, Butler probably would have expected Ashwin to have released the ball at this point. Why is this important? It's not a cut and dried case. The law's changed often. I don't blame Ravi Ashwin for even being ignorant of the law, because it only changed sort of 18 months ago, 2017 for the last time. And he's gone on record multiple times of saying that he would Mankad given the chance, and that he would Mankad every batsman given the chance. And as a bowler myself, primarily a bowler, I'm pretty much in agreement with him, because batsmen have so many advantages in the game that I don't have an issue with that. But going back to what I said a few minutes ago about why the law has to be something like this and not something as clear as when the bowler releases the ball, is because the batsman must, at the non-striker's end, must be looking at the striking batsman. He cannot be spending his time looking at the bowler's feet or the bowler's arm with his head turned at 90 or greater degrees away from the batsman, because you have to keep your eye on the ball at the whole time, because if you don't, you're going to get the ball back. If you watch the average IPL match, there are at least 2 or 3 occasions in every IPL match, and bear in mind they're only 20 over-a-side matches, when a ball is hit back towards the umpire and non-striking batsman and they are forced to take very rapid evasive action. They have between 0.35 and between 0.45 of a second to move. If you're not even looking at the non-striking batsman at the time the ball is released, you really don't stand a chance at all. You're going to get somebody, probably sooner rather than later, is going to get a return straight drive in the side of the neck, on the spine, broken wrist, broken arm. They'll probably get away with it if most of the head, because they've got a helmet on, but the head's not the only vulnerable spot, and it's not the only lethal spot. The game is about looking at the ball, not looking to see if a bowler is deliberately slowing down in their action, trying to cabbage you out, as we used to call it, or Mankad you. So the law is like this for a reason. Now, whether this or this proves who was right or wrong on this occasion is open to a little bit of debate. Even as a bowler, I probably fall on the side, because of this picture, I probably fall on the side of Jos Buttler, but it certainly isn't cut and dried. But the law that's stated as it is stated and written as it is, so the batsman at the non-striker's end is encouraged to be watching the striker. He has to be looking at when the ball's going to be coming back at him, because if you don't, it could end in tears. Well, obviously you've seen the umpires now with their arm guard. This is Paul Rifle. I think he was at square leg. But again, even when you are looking, you're going to get hit sometimes, and if you're not looking, you're going to get hit a lot more often. This law's there for a reason. It's there both for fair play and for safety. The last time Jos Buttler was man-cadded in the game, I think it was 2012. It's quite a while ago now. It was a good few years ago anyway. That seemed fine, and the idea of man-cad to me seems absolutely fine. If a batsman is seeking unfair advantage by walking out of his crease, that's fine. But the bowler must understand this law, and maybe some don't understand it, because most people on Facebook and Twitter don't understand it. It has nothing to do with when the bowler actually releases the ball, or the bowler's back foot or his landing foot or any of that. It's when he would have been expected to release the ball. So pausing delays the release of the ball later than would be normally expected. So pausing is not acceptable at all. So the one thing I've seen some bowlers do is they run up and they just actually go a bit quicker. They just whiz their arm underarm, rather than take their arm back into the bowling action. They just take it all the way back and run past the stumps and hit it. And if anything, they're hitting the stumps quicker, sooner than they would have done. If the batsman is out of his ground then that split second early, then the batsman should be out. I mean, I've got no problem with the man-cad law, but it has to allow for the people playing the game to be watching the ball or the striker at all times. Okay, that's just my thoughts on it. What do you think? Comment below. Do you think Ashwin was right? Do you think Buttler was right? Do you think the law needs clarification? Do you think, like me, that the law seems fine, just not enough people seem to know it? Let me know in the comments below. Cheers.